I know that you've spent a lot of time, Richard, investigating and researching social media as it's kind of, it's just emerged, it's new, and we don't really know a lot about it, and where it's going to go. So can you give us some examples of businesses that have been doing it the right way?
Yeah, I can. I mentioned Audi earlier on, Audi America. They are very good at it, and they're using it typically to design a product. So I think that's an excellent example. Dell Computers, when I started to investigate social media, now this is a classic example of how powerful social media is. I thought Dell Computers seemed like they really know what they're doing with this, and they were using Twitter, they're using blogs, they're using Facebook, they're using the whole thing. And I thought, well, how can I get to speak to these guys about what they're doing? So I found Michael Dell, who, as you know, is the owner, founder, member of Dell Computers. I found him on Facebook, and I sent him a message that said, "Hi, Michael, I'm interested in this, da-da-da-da." And in 12 hours, I got a reply from him and said, "Hi, Richard, contact this guy," and he gave me a name and an email address. He said he's head of my social media department. And I thought, wow, in pre-social media times, I couldn't have even got in touch with Michael Dell, let alone him giving me the contact details of his right-hand man, who I then contacted, and he gave me shed loads of information on how Dell do it. So I think Dell's a good company to follow. If you and Dell are everywhere. They're on SlideShare. They've got blogs. They're on Twitter. They're on Facebook, and what they do is well worth checking out and emulating.
Apart from communicating with you very quickly, why are Dell being held up as this pioneer of using social media for business? What is it that they're doing?
Right, okay. Well, I think they've got a slight advantage in the sort of people that are into computers, like the techie side of social media, Twitter and all that. When Dell started, they actually made, I think it's about $3 million in 18 months on one Twitter campaign. And what they're doing so successfully is engaging the people in product development. Again, it's a little bit like Audi, but using different techniques, because people that are really into Dell have got opinions on their products, what they should and shouldn't do and how they could improve them. And they're talking to these people all the time. And they've got this huge fan following of people that want to see what product they're doing next, what better software are they doing. And they really engage these people, and they're developing products alongside of them. And that's why they're getting such a huge uptake in sales. And when they started pushing product on Twitter, they're one of the few companies that made a lot of money solely through Twitter. And, okay, what they actually did was they gave any of their Twitter followers a special price, but nonetheless, £3 million in 18 months, $3 million in 18 months is not a bad return for a few tweets on Twitter, is it?
No, absolutely.
So they really engage people with the technical aspect of their product, and it works very well, and they really are very good. Marriott Hotels are another really good company to follow if you want to learn how to engage people with blogging. Marriott Hotels CEO is Bill Marriott, and he runs a blog. Actually, I don't think he writes it, but it's under his name. It's got his picture. Wow. He runs a blog, and in 18 months, they claim to have made $5 million through people going on the blog and then clicking through to the website and booking accommodation. So what that tells me is they were interested in the human side of Marriott's business before they were really interested in booking a holiday with them. It's only because they liked what they saw, they liked the human element, they then said, blimey, these guys sound good, I'm going to book a holiday. So they're a classic example of a really good blog and how to make it work. Another good blogging company are Southwest Airlines in Texas. They've got a really good blog, and a lot of people I give advice to, I say, look, if you want a really good blog and see how it's set up, see the sort of things that should be on there, go and look at theirs, check theirs out, it's really good. Another company I would recommend is Zappos, which is Zappos. they're an American company again. All the people that seem to be really making this work are American. They're American. They've got an online shoe company, so they sell shoes. Now, okay, some people find shoes fascinating. I don't, personally. But what these guys do is they tweet, and they tweet very, very successfully. And they're one of the few people that get it right, because they tweet about what's going on in their business. They're not always trying to tweet you to sell you something. So they'll say, it's just like talking to your friends. When they send a tweet out, it's like your mate down the road sending it to you. They've just got this ability to make it feel like you're the only one getting it. And in America, they say that zappos have got an almost rock star-like status because of what they're doing with social media. So those people I've just mentioned, and another good one is Ford Motor Company in America. A guy called Scott Monty runs he's head of social media for them, and he's got a blog under his own name, and some of the stuff they're doing is fantastic. Again, designing, talking to their customers, sorting out customer service issues, because again, that is a really good way of sorting your customer service issues out, because if someone's complaining about you on the internet, they've got a huge audience, so it's in your best interest to make sure they're telling you through Twitter or through your blog, so that you can deal with it there and then, and rather let it fester and lots of other people talk about you in a negative way as well. So
that kind of brings up a point about smaller businesses using social media, because it's very difficult to hear somebody telling you that they're disappointed about something that you do.
Yeah.
And equally, when you're in a small business where you actually have the relationship that I was talking about earlier with your customers,
yeah,
it's difficult for them sometimes to say things to you face to face.
It is, yeah. It's
a lot easier to kind of post a comment on someone's blog with a suggestion on it.
It is, yeah. It is. And the thing is, at the end of the day, it's always nice to have good feedback, but good feedback doesn't strengthen your business. Negative feedback does. It's a way of people saying, look, okay, you're not a bad bloke or you're not a bad business, but you're really not very good at this. And I personally, give me negative feedback any day of the week, because anyone who gives me negative feedback is just giving me a way of improving my business. Whereas if you get positive feedback, that is fantastic, that's lovely to hear, but I just keep doing that thing, but it's not strengthening my business, if that makes sense.